There we go. Couple of rusting cranes. And whenever you see rusting cranes that are no longer in operation, you always kind of wonder that once upon a time they were in operation and what has caused them to no longer be in operation. Well, here that's easy. Sometimes it might just be mechanical reasons, or they've just kind of, don't work anymore, and there's cranes elsewhere. There could be other reasons. But check this out. We are on a boat, and if you recall, 3 days ago, I've just seen that what looks like, you see that? They look like, from here they look like animals. Like the one on the right is a bear and stuffed animals. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, we're on a boat, and as you can see, we're on land, and just over there, you can just make out the stern, the back part of, you can see two, there is a smaller one just this side that you can't quite see from here. So there's 3 boats over there, plus this one here. Why is that? It's a little museum down there, and with everything was in Russian, so that was pretty pointless. Anyway, check this out. Okay. Well, you remember 3 days ago we were in Moynak, and Moynak is at the south end of the Aral Sea. Well, what was the Aral Sea. And the north end of the Aral Sea is where we are now, Aral, A-R-A-L. That was 3 days ago. That was Uzbekistan. Now we're in Kazakhstan, and the Aral Sea went all the way. And the Aral Sea now from Moynak in Uzbekistan is around about 170 kilometers away. It's just receded over the decades, and apparently it's pretty much a lost cause in Uzbekistan, so it seems likely that it will keep receding, and one day the Aral Sea may no longer exist in Uzbekistan. But here in Kazakhstan it's different. The last, I don't know, 15 years or so, 20, maybe 20, they've been trying to do something about it. And they've built some dams, and they've dug big trenches and all sorts of things. And the Aral Sea is actually coming back. And I'm not sure how far it is today, but 3 years ago it was only about 18 kilometers away. So it's coming back, and these bits of water that you see here may indeed be the start of it. But where we are now, of course, this was a harbour. And the cranes were used to offload and unload boats, and I guess those buildings around there were all something to do with that, port offices or something. Now you see some cows down there. It's not unusual apparently to see camels wandering around as well. Moynak had a ship graveyard, right there at what was the harbour, although the ships had apparently been brought there, dragged there or whatever. As far as I know, the closest shipyard to where we are now is about 50 kilometers away, and requires a trip out there. We've been trying to find an office that organises that sort of thing, but no luck. Anyway, so perhaps in the years to come this will be full of water again, and apparently some of the fishing industry has been restored on the Kazakh side of the Aral Sea, but clearly not from Aral where we are now, so that's further points out there. One thing that has to be said, Lisa and I were talking about taking the trip out to the graveyard, and there's a dam out there as well. But we've been reading a bit about there's been all sorts of health problems caused as a result of this. I mean, like, once upon a time, of course, this all used to be water, and that sort of creates a certain climate. But when that water's gone, then things change, and in a lot of the sea, the seabed has now been exposed, and there's been some salt. A lot of salt has been gathered from that, and so has access to certain minerals, because the water is no longer in the way, so you can access the seabed. It's right there. But apparently, particularly on the Uzbek side, that there's been problems with certain types of cancers that weren't around before. There's higher levels of sodium now, and apparently the Soviets, when the Soviet Union was all around here, had an island in the middle of the sea. Now that island, now of course the water's gone, so it's just basically like a mountain, I suppose. But apparently the Soviets were using that as a base, and they were testing all sorts of like things with lots of chemicals and things like that. And that apparently is still causing a problem, which is why there's a few more cancers around, few getting types of cancer. There's now a lot more sandstorms, because once upon a time this was full of water, so the sand that was on the seabed had water all over it, covering it. Now of course that water's gone, so when the winds come in, there tend to be more sandstorms. We've noticed a few more mosquitoes around here. Now I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. Could just be, you know, some other reason. But anyway, so there's all sorts of other, you know, consequences, you know, when, you know, the sea goes. Which is understandable, I suppose. So yeah, so who knows? Maybe in 20 years' time this will be back to what it was. But you know, maybe not, of course. Okay, and it's all because of cotton, and that's going to be spoken about in the next video.